Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Crypto Space channel. If you are new, consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. So guys, quick sneak peek of what we are going to cover today. I believe I've got a couple of bullish data points, news, so on and so forth, so please be patient. Now guys, let's start with this piece of information. So buy orders are live on testnet. Buy order functionality is now live for testing on the Telegram version of Kaspa market. Key details: this enables instant buying and selling, making trades faster and more convenient. While semi-centralized for now, this system ensures users retain access to their locked Kaspa. Unlike other platforms, we are taking every precaution to make it as secure as possible. So guys, I believe that this is good news. To be honest with you, completely personally, I don't use this. However, in the grand scheme of things, this is a bullish thing. Obviously, things are basically going according to the plan, so I would like to just quickly point it out, and something that you have seen in the thumbnail, right? So we've got exciting news for Kaspa community. Kaspa integration of the official Ledger Live app for desktop and mobile has made some amazing progress. Integration video shows full functionality of sending and receiving, manage Kaspa directly on Ledger Live, full BIP44 HD wallet standard, stuff like that, right? So basically it's competitor to Tangem, right? I personally have Ledger, I have a Tangem, and actually my other set of different cards of Tangem are actually on the way, and I'll be probably looking into purchasing another Ledger stacks, or these latest versions, and probably are wondering why. Well, for the security purposes, right? Because obviously diversification of our portfolio is important, same as storage, I believe, right? So guys, I believe in the grand scheme of things this is a bullish thing, because we've got finally Kaspa account on Ledger. Okay, now let's move on to some more macro events for Bitcoin, but of course that I believe includes Kaspa and overall crypto market. So listen to that. We've got US Treasury Department that is releasing a report calling Bitcoin digital gold, right? Here we go. So primary use case for Bitcoin seems to be a store of value, aka digital gold, in a decentralized finance DeFi world. So basically all of older age that were basically scared to invest into BTC long time ago, now let's say they do have much more of a green light, because obviously US Treasury Department is given a kind of a green light based on this digital gold thing that I've just mentioned in here, and of course not mentioning about the executive order that Mr. President Donald Trump is going to sign very soon. Now we've got this bullish information. So Forbes says Bitcoin is a geopolitical asset. So listen to that. In 2025, Bitcoin is no longer just a niche investment, but a geopolitical asset. Governments and central banks around the world, from Washington to Zurich, are engaged in discussions about its role in national reserves. Bitcoin is emerging as a challenger to traditional reserve assets like gold and US dollar, with the potential to reshape the global monetary order. Guys, this is very big, okay? Because obviously this is the first cycle in which we are experiencing such adoption, okay? And don't worry, you are going to watch Kaspa related charts and stuff like that, but of course I want to put things into perspective so you guys are actually aware, and of course myself, right? I have to reevaluate the data for myself as well, okay? But anyways, I'm doing this so you guys can pretty much draw a picture of where we are in this cycle. Anyways, we've got some macro charts. So this is total crypto market cap excluding BTC on a 2-weekly time frame, which means that it's including Ethereum into it too. So Mr. Prof is saying that no one will be able to tell you exactly where the music stops. But if you look at the past 2 cycles, there is still so much room for altcoins to rise, okay? So let's see, what is he talking about? We've got this banana shape, however you want to call it, in orange, right? And that was basically an accumulation zone in which I believe you should be probably accumulating Kaspa or anything else that you believe, right? But obviously that was in 2016, but of course it's applying to every single cycle, right? So then we had the first leg up, and then such action, okay? Altcoins obviously went into that parabolic stage. In 2020, that basically occurred as well, as you can clearly see in here, ladies and gents, and accumulation 2024, right? So this is where we are, okay? This is what's going on, okay? I'm not entirely sure if market is going to go up and down, obviously on short time frame picture, but if we are going to zoom this out in a lot of probabilities, of course, and if history is going to rhyme and repeat, we are sitting at the verge of something really legendary. But other chart, Ethereum Bitcoin chart on a monthly, right? So this is macro chart, so hold your horses. Mr. Prof is saying that look how nicely this 9+ year old trend line is holding for Ethereum BTC. Alt dips are for buying, because the next few months are going to be very crazy for alts. So well, let's have a look at bottom in 2015, right? So we had, well, let's call it a bullish flag, right? So pump, and then obviously this flag going towards the downside, and then the exit proper alt season, right? That also occurred in 2019, right, as you can clearly see. And obviously we had you know, that parabolic stage 2020, 2021, and at the moment this is where we are in 2024. Okay, so you know, based on that chart, you know, we have hit the bottom, and most likely now we are going to see some you know, greenery, right? Of course, we could go into the upside of the resistance line and get rejected potentially, right? Nonetheless, we are going to see the squeeze towards the upside sooner rather than later, I believe. So now let's move, okay, because we've got this chart, and in this chart basically it's macro chart, but in this chart you can find your beloved Kaspa. So total crypto market cap excluding top 10 on a monthly time frame. International basically says that altcoins are moving from steady growth to parabolic bullish phase. So let's have a look. 2016, 2017, he has marked these rectangles pinkish color, and basically after this pullback, right, we had the parabolic stage. So that thing occurred in 2020, 2021, the same thing, well, almost very similar, right? And at the moment, this is where we are at the moment. Okay, so let's assume that obviously this box should be actually extended a little bit, because we've got this black candle, which in your case probably is going to be red. Nonetheless, guys, we have a lot of upside potential for altcoins. Okay, so now guys, I'm not going to say that Kaspa is going to do 100x this cycle. Okay, nobody really knows. These price predictions are very cute, but I would like to provide you, you know, the data so you can, you know, figure it out. But anyways, I have mentioned about it before. Moving on, ladies and gents, we've got some bullish news if it comes to DXY. So this is dollar index on 5-daily chart. So Blunt basically is pointing out the DXY looks topped now, and it hit 108 as he expected, with a major 0.618 level, and looks like a long slow ABC up after an impulsive move to the downside. Okay, so guys, a long story short, to put this in a very simple perspective, we want dollar index obviously to fall down. This is where crypto is going to go towards the upside. Okay, now moving on to overall picture of crypto bubbles, this is where we are at on a daily time frame. So we have a little bit of more greenery, and I do believe that tomorrow is going to be kind of moment of truth, right? Because it's proper kind of a week after, you know, this holiday season, and ETFs are actually going to be visible, right? So we have to wait until tomorrow to see if we had some positive inflows if it comes to ETFs, right? As today is the first day, and we are going to have this data tomorrow. Okay, so stay tuned, and of course subscribe. Now guys, let's actually move to the fear and greed index. We are sitting at 76 according to CoinGlass, and CoinMarketCap is showing us 60. All right, so there is a little bit of a difference. Okay, I'm going to tell you that I personally believe this, however it doesn't really feel like that. It actually feels like this. I believe that major wave of retail is actually yet to come once BTC is going to break towards its previous all-time highs at 107k, I believe. Nonetheless, guys, moving forward, we've got our beloved Kaspa. So we are still sitting at number 47 if it comes to ranking. Well, obviously that isn't really juicy, but who really cares? Okay, volume is pretty much the same as yesterday, and market cap is a little bit below. Okay, because I believe that we have dropped. We were at 3,190,000,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember, but it's pretty much similar. All right, now guys, let's have a look at our beloved Kaspa's chart. Okay, so yesterday I believe that I was mentioning that Kaspa might pull back to this green line, and actually it got perfectly supported. Okay, so on this particular occasion I was right, but remember, I'm not always right. Non-trader is always right. Anyways, that's a 4-hourly. Okay, so 4-hourly, at least from the standpoint of stochastic RSI, is showing us that it bottomed out. All right, so we can stay there for a while, considering the fact that MACD is basically printing a bearish scenario. So daily can potentially pull back, and we might potentially, I mean, Kaspa might potentially lose this level of support at 12 cents 3. And also a little bit of a concerning thing, but I would like to remind that this is short time frame for hourly. However, a little bit of a concerning thing is that we've got left shoulder in here. Let's say that this is head formation. All right, and now if we are going to bounce on 4 hourly, sorry, which is also going to coincide with stochastic RSI, then we will potentially create the right shoulder. And if that is going to happen, obviously I'm not bear for Kaspa, but you know, short term, well, so let's say the target potentially could be around 11 cents 7, which is also going to perfectly coincide with this level of a support, right? We've got, you know, some confirmations in that area and in here as well. Okay, so if that is going to happen, ladies and gents, that is going to be around 4% of a dip for Kaspa, right? Which potentially could be a great buying opportunity, right? So if you actually want to trade Kaspa, make sure that you sign into Bybit or BitChinex, and you can find the links in below this video. Now guys, moving on to liquidity, okay? Let's have a look at BTC's liquidity first, and of course after that we are going to cover our beloved Kaspa. So Binance BTC USDT perpetual on a daily, right? More people are longing BTC at the moment, right? Because we had this spike, right, that I've been mentioning about, I believe, a while ago. And now potentially, at least based on the liquidity level, BTC can pull, because we've got around 2 weeks for Trump to actually get into the office, right? You can see that on all of the exchanges, everybody now is degening into Bitcoin, right? We've got 8.38 billion worth of longs versus 2.59, well, 2.6, let's say, right? So everybody is longing again after BTC pumped, right? But here's the thing, guys, it already did, okay? So let's have a look. 24 hourly, let's have a look what's going on. So I believe that for BTC it's going to be very easy to dip into levels of 98,770 and potentially, you know, gear up towards the upside and reclaim 100k, right? Because that liquidity is very, very close, right? So let's actually have a look at the weekly for BTC, and now the lowest point is 91,000. I am not going to say that BTC is going to dip into that level, but obviously it could. But if it will, if that is going to happen, in my opinion, in this case, it's going to be probably the last dip and probably the last shakiness, right? Again, guys, I don't want to say that this is going to happen, but obviously from the standpoint of people that are, you know, having a lot of money, they can potentially pull this, you know, market down, right? So level is 91,000, okay, on a weekly for BTC. But let's see how things are going to roll, because potentially if BTC is going to reclaim 100k, that can spark, you know, more retail actually arriving and degening into these green dildo candles for BTC. Now, ladies and gents, let's have a look at our beloved Kaspa, shall we? Now we've got Binance Kaspa, right? So now everybody's shorting Kaspa. Well, that's actually good on a daily, right? Because based on liquidity, now price should reverse and flush out these leverages, right? Of course, it doesn't always happen, but, you know, it's very likely. So everybody is longing on 7 daily on all of the exchanges. Well, Binance and Bybit, at least this is what the data shows me, right? So let's have a look at the liquidity, which obviously is a little bit easier to read. So Binance Kaspa perpetual, since I have weekly, let's do weekly. Okay, so guys, level of 12 cents 2. Let's have a look on trading view where 12 cents 2 is actually, right? 12 cents 2. Well, 12 cents 2, right? So if Kaspa is going to dip into that level, that is going to be another, well, let's say 1%, okay? So I guess this is good if you are scalping, right? But this is area that obviously we could see Kaspa potentially dipping too, right? Because of that, well, if that head and shoulder obviously is going to happen, all right? So now, ladies and gents, let's have a look at 12 hourly, which is obviously short time frame, okay? So from the standpoint of short time frame, it actually shows that it can go into 12 cents 6, right? And guys, I hope that you're not getting confused with that, because obviously I'm showing you different time frames, and of course I might say things that are not really correlating, but I hope that this is kind of easy to understand. Anyways, guys, on 12 hourly we can potentially expect a pump to 12 cents 6. Now let's have a look at 24 hourly very quickly. So 24 hourly, okay, 24 hourly is showing us this, okay? If Kaspa is going to do a little bit of a dip on 24 hourly to 12 cents 076, I think that this is going to be max pain, at least on a daily, because we have some levels of liquidity that are piling above at levels of 12 cents 6. Now, ladies and gents, I hope that you're not asleep, because I also have, you know, a couple of different charts, right? Because we got some good news, believe it or not. So BTC's dominance basically dropped again, right? This is for hourly, and BTC's dominance reached 56.7% of dominance, okay? Obviously we now have this spike towards the upside, but let's see how this is going to roll out, okay? Daily time frame is showing us such situation, okay? And now the question is, if BTC is going to go, I mean the dominance is going to reclaim this level, or actually try, that can potentially be bearish retest, okay, and then drop, okay? This is something that we are obviously waiting for. However, I would like to remind to everybody that on the zoomed out perspective, this is nothing, because altcoin season is yet to come. Now, very good news is that USDT dominance broke below this orange line, which I was mentioning about yesterday. So now looking at for hourly, ladies and gents, let's have a look what's going on, right? So we had a drop, then USDT's dominance got supported at level 3.99, well, almost 4. Then we had some bounce towards the upside. Nonetheless, we have lost this support almost. Now we are obviously pumping, but I do believe that this is calm before the storm. Okay, very important thing is that USDT dominance finally lost this level as a support, and I hope that from now on it's going to go towards the downside only. All right, that of course is going to print a lot of gains for crypto holders, right? Kaspa, and of course whatever you guys desire, right, and hold. Guys, I hope that this helps, and as always, peace and love, crypto.